I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Music Theory Tuition series where I work with you step by step through the ABRSM Discovering Music Theory grades. I'll work through every single exercise and explain everything you need to know. You can access information about the books I have available to help you on my website. Go to sharonbill.com. For advert-free and longer lessons, you can become a patron at patreon.com/SharonBill. If you can give me a like, that would be super, and please do subscribe to my channel to stay updated. You can support this channel by buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/SharonBill. Continuing with the topic of signs and symbols and performance directions, we're moving on to page 49 of Grade 1 Discovering Music Theory. And we're looking at some more detailed directions that a composer might give us. And sometimes they might want to use symbols and signs instead of words, just to save space on the music copy really, and to get the point over quite quickly. If it's only relating to one note, there perhaps isn't the space to write a whole word. And also the music would get very cluttered with lots and lots of different directions written at great length, I suppose. Now we've got here the sign for the crescendo and the diminuendo, which I've already actually mentioned too. I find those more helpful than the words, so we've already looked at those, and you can see that that's definitely, the volume is opening out, we're getting louder, crescendo, and we can see it's definitely getting quieter. We have diminuendo or decrescendo, like an uncrescendo. We have some new symbols here though as well. This little sort of sideways pointing, like mostly triangle, is an accent. That means we give a little bit more oomph to the note there, a bit more attack. Now this slur joins notes smoothly played together, and so that's linked to the word we've already learned, legato. They are to be played smoothly. However, be careful, it's not to be confused with this symbol here, which looks the same. It's the same shape, but this is a tie, remember, which is to do with holding the value of the note. Now, a slur, we can have lots and lots and lots of different notes all under the same umbrella of a slur, all of those smoothly joined together. A tie is always note head to note head individually, and also it's got to be the same pitch to add them together, where of course a slur is over lots and lots of different pitch notes. So although it's the same shape, it's very different in its application. That's a timing issue where you add values of the notes together, you just keep the note held. Here you smoothly join the notes together. So here we've already discussed staccato, which means detached, kind of like a spiky way of playing. And so for example, if you're playing that on a string instrument, that would be like pizzicato, where you just pluck the string. And so that's what it looks like in music. Be careful though, again, a dot after a note equals to do with the note value. Remember, a dot after a note makes it half as long again. A dot underneath the note or above the note means staccato, detached. Now here we have this funny sort of eyebrow shape, and that's a pause. You just linger on that note. It's an artistic pause. Just hold it for longer than its for normal sort of strict value. So if you've got kind of like that or that, although it's a one-beat note, although you perhaps won't, let's make it a two-beat note, that doesn't make sense, does it? There we go. You could hold that for, you know, just, you wouldn't even count, you just wait till the moments died away, as it were. It would probably be over a semi-breve more than likely, or a dotted minim. I did that there. Just to kind of end a phrase with a bit of an artistic pause, as it were. The Italian word for that, just out of interest, you don't need to remember it as such, but it's called a fermata. That's a pause there. Now here, this is kind of, looks like a mathematical formula, doesn't it? And it is so, because that is telling us exactly what speed we're going to be playing it. It's sometimes it might say it's Maelzel's metronome. And it's a or you could even remember it as metronome marking. But it's telling us exactly how many beats per minute. So here we have 60 crotchet beats per minute. And so basically we know that the tempo is going to be 1 beat per second. If the tempo was crotchet equals 120, then it's going to be 2 clicks per second. It's going to be twice the tempo, isn't it? It's going to be twice as fast. We could change that note so the value could change, but it's always telling us exactly what speed it's going to be. And then here we have these little markings which are called repeat markings, and basically you bounce between the sections and play that section twice. If there is no sign at the beginning, it basically just means bounce back to the beginning and play that whole section twice again. So you bounce back between the dots or back to the beginning, so that's a repeat sign. And so we've already talked about slurs and ties, and I think now we can take that as done. So do a little bit of revision for that, because I'm sure we're going to get tested on that at a later point. But now we get the opportunity to put it into practice. And so we've got the bare bones of a melody here. And we've been asked to add some terms and signs to kind of give us a little bit more musical expression. So let's think what we could do to make this a little bit more expressive and musical, rather than just blobs on a page and the maths of this blob for this long, this blob for this long. We want the melody to speak a little. So you could choose moderato, and you could have like a big long slur, but I think let's make it a little bit more detailed than that. So I'm going to suggest a little faster. We'll go allegretto. We'll give the performer an easy time. We won't go too fast. So we'll go quite fast, sort of, but not fast like allegro. And I don't think we'll start too loud or too quiet. We'll just start in the middle at mezzo forte. But I think we can perhaps, it's natural in music when a melody is ascending, our first reaction is always to get louder. The composer may not always tell us to do that, but that is our natural kind of inclination. So I'm going to suggest we get a bit louder. And then as the melody line falls away, I'm going to get a little bit quieter. And then I'm going to choose which notes are smooth and which notes are detached. And the way that we would say that is it's articulation. How do we articulate each note? So I think we can start off with a bouncy staccato, da, da, and then we'll slur, da, da. And now I've finally landed here, we can accent this note, da, 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 da. We'll leave those sort of just normal, we won't get too carried away. This is the first beat of the bar, which is naturally accented. So I'm going to suggest we give that even a bit more oomph and give that another accent. And it's also a long note. It's not quavers, it's a full crotchet. So we've given the full crotchets a little bit more oomph. Let's slur those. Da, 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 dum, dum. Let's have those slurred as well. Now this is the end of the passage. So I think we'll have a little bit of a slowing down, we'll have a rit, and then we'll have a pause at the end. I think that's quite expressive, that will do the job. So now we need to say in words what we've done in signs and little terms. So let's just describe what we've done. So we'll say the melody is played at a fairly quick tempo. Fairly quick tempo, or speed as it were. And it begins moderately loud. This is just showing that we've understood exactly what we've asked the performer to do. So what happens now? The melody becomes gradually louder. And then fades to the end. The tempo slows down in the last bar. Because it's retarding the speed. Getting a bit squished here. I feel like I've got a lot to write and squish in here. I suppose I could say fades in volume to the end. Perhaps that might express that better. The tempo slurs in the last bar, and the last note holds for longer than the written. Sorry, my handwriting's falling apart here, I'm rushing. Than the written 2 beats. So actually that note's going to last a very long time because it's the 2 beats is already slowing down, and then it's being held even longer till it's kind of died away, I think. Some notes are detached. They're the staccato notes that we've done. Some are slurred, so we kind of bounce and then swoop. Some are slurred, and some are given extra accent, and some crotchets are given extra accent as well, aren't we? Some are accented. I think that explains. So you could play that, and if it's on a different instrument, if you're on a treble instrument, well, you could just kind of jump some octaves and try that and see what you think it sounds like. I hope this is helpful to your studies. Please do like and subscribe to stay updated. If you'd like to support this channel, you can buy me a coffee, and for advert-free lessons, you can become a patron. Do visit my website where you'll find many resources available to help you. Visit sharonbill.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.